Have you ever wondered what lurks in the shadows? What secrets the night hides? What strange phenomena might be happening just beyond your perception? Join us as we journey into the world of the paranormal, exploring everything from ghosts and UFOs to cryptids and unexplained occurrences. From haunted houses to all things paranormal, join us in the search for the truth behind the veil. Welcome to Paranormal 411.
All right.
All right.
Welcome, everybody.
It's going to be a great show.
It is.
We'll be talking about some what, Jason?
We're going to be talking about some cave art from the sky gods. Sky gods. The cave code.
Yeah, we're going to show you some awesome pictures that people, some of these are up to 17,000, have been dated over 17,000 years.
Yes.
And they depict weird things. What's funny is that, you know, at the end of the show, because we don't do it here, because, you know, we've only got an hour tonight that we do. So we're going to keep it, you know, focused on what it is we're talking about. But go back to each one of these areas and look at all the art.
Yeah.
Because what's funny is, like Jason's going to talk about here in a little bit, they want to say, oh, it's this or it's that. But they've got art of animals, living animals, of them hunting, of them doing all these different things.
All kinds of crazy things with them.
And some of them we can't even show on here because it's some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But then you see these weird creatures that aren't human looking. And then you're like, okay, so they knew what people look like.
Mm-hmm.
You know what all these animals and everything look like. So what is this?
Right. And some of the pictures will have animals with these creature looking things.
Yeah.
Like you can see frogs, a turtle, lizard, and then you got
snake,
a alien looking monster.
Yeah.
So I definitely believe that they didn't just make this up. I think they drew what they saw.
Yeah. You know, taking a chapter out of Ancient Aliens, right? They drew what they saw.
They drew what they saw.
So
only Oscars, Shell Reagan.
Hey, only Oscars, and hey, Shell Reagan.
Got that present sent to you. Only Oscars should be arriving Saturday.
Oh man.
Be on the lookout.
Yes. Please leave us a good review on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what's up, bird dogs in the house, Roy? We're gonna see what Roy thinks about these cave drawings.
He's gonna think they're mustard stains.
Yeah, probably. Well, they just got out there doing that. They didn't know what they're doing. What's up, bird dog?
I don't talk like that. No. You're welcome, only Oscars. Thank you for being a premium member.
Yeah, thank you. So just look around you. Imagine for a moment stepping back in time, not just decades or centuries, but millennial or millennia, whichever one you want to say.
The millennials will think you're talking about them now.
Millennia.
Yeah.
So imagine a world that's painted not on canvas, but on the very walls of the earth, deep within caves, etched onto rock faces under vast starlit skies. Roy says, I think I want a huge tax refund. So we're talking about cave art. It's the oldest art known to humankind. For centuries, you know, these images, they've captivated us, and they've told us secrets across time.
Yeah, I mean, with that, they tell you what these artists were thinking at the time that they were drawing it, right?
Mm-hmm. So mainstream archaeology offers its explanations, of course. Shamans, spirits, myth, symbols of the natural world. But when you truly look at some of these ancient artworks, and you let
Hey, Barbara.
Hey, Barbara. So when you look at some of these artworks and then you let your mind be open to possibilities beyond conventional, you might begin to feel a sense of unease, a feeling of perhaps the conventional story falls short. It doesn't quite capture the strangeness or the otherworldliness that comes from certain cave paintings that we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
So, we want to invite you to join us on this journey, to ask a question that could rewrite human history. What if some of these ancient artists weren't depicting spirits or myths as we understand them today? What if they were recording something far more extraordinary?
What's up, Jeff?
What's up, Jeff? Thank you for lunch, buddy.
Yeah,
Hello.
lunch was awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Ashley.
So what if they were documenting encounters with beings not of this earth, beings from other worlds? I know it's a bold idea, and it does challenge everything we're taught about our past. But we believe, I think David believes too, that the evidence is there. It's etched in stone, waiting for us to truly see it. So we're going to explore 5 remarkable sites tonight, places where the rock art speaks in a language that we believe points unmistakably to ancient alien contact. So open your minds, because what we're about to uncover might just change the way you see human history. Forever. Right, Barbara?
Yep.
They painted what they witnessed.
That's what we believe. So, number one, we're going to talk about Barrier Canyon. Now, this is in Utah. We've got the first 2 are in Utah, actually.
Yeah.
So first, we're going to go to the remote canyons of Utah in the American Southwest. Imagine a landscape of towering red rocks sculpted by wind and time. There's a place that has profound silence and ancient mysteries. Now, there in Barrier Canyon and in the surrounding Glen Canyon and Canyonlands areas, we find some pretty mysterious rock art. Excuse me. Now, these were created by little misunderstood Barrier Canyon culture. These paintings are incredibly old, some dating back 9,000 years. Just think about that for a minute. 9,000 years. That's a long time. Now, these artists were closer to the dawn of human civilization than we are to them. Now, were they perhaps more attuned to realities than we are in our own modern world that we have become blind to?
Mm-hmm.
Now, picture this. Massive figures dominating the rock panels. We call them spirit figures. But what spirits are these? They're pretty big, often life-sized, sometimes even larger, towering over 7 feet tall.
7 feet.
That's a heck of a scale, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, were they depicting beings of immense stature, beings that are actually not of this earth? You want to share that?
Yeah, I'm going to share one of the pictures.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Now that looks like some kind of somebody's worshiping somebody there.
Looks almost like Batman.
A robot. Them big old eyes, broad shoulders, but he's probably about 8 foot tall.
Yeah. And that's actually how big they painted these things too, though.
Yeah.
These paintings are like that big. Isn't that crazy? Now they have elongated, slim. We have another one right here, right?
Yeah.
Some of these things have elongated heads, slender bodies, unlike any human proportions. The limbs and some the lack thereof are either entirely or reduced to mere stubs. Found some predating the Great Deluge. Oh yeah, we have some on here that
18 to 20,000 years.
yeah, are about 20,000-year-old. So when we get on to some of these other ones.
And I think they're still finding stuff today that's even further back.
Yeah. Yeah. What's crazy is that they can actually carbon date that because that's pigments that were used. So they could carbon date them.
They could be wearing a spacesuit. You see the one with the
the
looks like antenna coming out of its head.
You should be able to do this. Yeah, see, they can see that.
Yeah.
This right here. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And some of this stuff down here could be ships or something.
Yeah.
You know?
This right here.
Yeah. Looks kind of like a, like a spaceship. That's some crazy stuff right there. All that squiggly stuff. Orange look like coming off their head or antenna.
Yeah, look like a ram head.
Yeah. Now,
utility belt.
That's it. Utility belt. Now there's some pretty big heads on these things, and they're often featureless. They're blank. Sometimes they have enormous empty eye sockets, large, rounded, bug-like eyes, and some have described them. Some actually describe them like they have big round bug eyes.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes there's no noses or very little noses, the mouths, the ears, and the familiar features of a human face. Are these faces of humans, or are they faces of something otherworldly?
You gotta say it like ancient aliens.
Yeah.
Are these faces of humans?
Or are they otherworldly?
Or could they be of worldly origin?
That's right. Only Oscar says hoses for Eric. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that has to go through something before they could. Yeah. Now, some of these figures have projections extending from their heads like antenna. Now, what would prehistoric humans know of antennae coming out of their heads, unless they're looking at ants and bees and bugs?
Well, the ant people. There's tales of the ant people and the Hopi.
Yep, the Hopi Indians.
Yeah,
for sure.
And some of these pictures look like insects.
Yes. Yeah. Could these be communication devices?
Maybe.
Sensory organs, unlike our own? Could they be interacting with something beyond our normal perception? Something in the cosmos? Finally, consider the bodies themselves. They are often filled with paint, intricate patterns, cross-hatching, wavy lines, dots, zigzags, and even snake-like designs. Now, are these just decorations, as the skeptics claim? Or could they represent something more? Could they be depicting maybe internal structures, advanced suits, maybe even perhaps energy fields that surround these beings?
Yeah.
I could see that maybe, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you put it all together and you truly see these things, Barrier Canyon spirit figures, can you honestly say they look like anything from our known human history or mythology or shamanic traditions? Or do they whisper of something else, something extraterrestrial? Was that good, Jason?
Yeah.
Was that pretty good? I believe these ancient artists were not just imagining things. We believe they were witnesses, recording encounters with beings from the stars. They were depicting what they saw with the reverence and awe that such an encounter would inspire.
I just don't.
Nothing Earth-like. Yes.
I don't think. I mean, these would be Neanderthal people painting this stuff, right?
9,000 years.
10,000. Yeah.
The one's 20,000 years. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be like me or you today drawing a cartoon.
No.
I mean,
But see, the funny thing to me is that they said that at this time during our hunter gatherer stages and
Yeah.
stuff like that of life, we didn't have a whole lot of time to do stuff like
Right.
this because we were too busy hunting and gathering.
Mm-hmm. I know. I was watching a video today about this, and they dated one back to the Neanderthal period, and whoever painted it used a paintbrush,
Probably of like horsehair or something like that.
and when their hands showed their handprints, that said it was sprayed on. That's wild. I've
seen some of those where you could tell that it was like sprayed around the hand.
Yeah.
Only Oscar says, I think Bigfoot is related to Neanderthal. I think that it is very possible. Yes. Because, I mean, when they look at the genome, even though they keep saying that it's wrong, when they keep looking at the genome, the mitochondrial side or the female side always comes back as human.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
So, you want to do the next one too?
So the next one is Swego Canyon. It's also in Utah. Now, this one is not far from Barrier Canyon. And here we find fascinating layering of ancient art. Now, we see the familiar Barrier Canyon style, but also the art of a latter culture, the Fremont people. Now, the Fremont people were agriculturalists who came after the hunter-gatherer or the Barrier Canyon culture. And in their art, we find yet more intriguing figures that fuel the ancient alien mystery. So, in the Fremont figures in Swego Canyon, you kind of draw your attention. These figures often have distinctive trapezoidal bodies. They're like what you see when you look at Superman and all this, right? Really wide shoulders, and it goes all the way down. And so imagine a human form, but instead of a torso, is shaped like a triangle or a trapezoid, wider at the shoulders, narrowing towards the base. Is this how humans are built? Or are we looking at depictions of beings with a fundamentally different biology? I think it's interesting.
Yeah, the one on the right here looks like it has arms.
Yeah, you could see the differences between the arms and the body.
But this one, I don't see arms.
Mm-mm.
But I do see big old eyes and some antennae.
Yeah, and on this other one over here too.
Yeah, maybe it is a helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Yep. And like he was just saying, then you have the headdresses. Now, they're often incredibly elaborate, radiating outwards, upwards like complex structures. Are these just simple feather headdresses, as some archaeologists suggest? Or do they look more like technology to you? Maybe some communication devices, energy collectors, maybe advanced headgear of some kind? Now, when you look at the intricacy, the almost mechanical appearance of some of these headdresses, is hard to dismiss them as mere decoration. I would never look at those and think decoration myself. Now, many Fremont figures also have large, prominent eyes, or sometimes just empty eye orbits staring from the rock face. Is that both pictures? Have you showed the second one yet?
Yeah, it's the second one.
Gotcha. And again, we're confronted with faces that are not quite human, features that seem to defy our earthly norms. When you consider the trapezoidal bodies, the elaborate, almost technologically looking headdresses, the large staring eyes, or the lack thereof eyes, you can truly say that these are just depictions of ordinary humans or spirits from other earthly mythologies. Are we looking at something else entirely? Now, could this Fremont artist, like their Barrier Canyon predecessors, have also witnessed beings from the stars and recorded their encounters in the rock of Swago Canyon. I think that that's very possible what happened, right, Jason?
Yeah.
Now, perhaps the Fremont culture continued a tradition, a memory of alien visitation in that region, adding to their own unique artistic style to the ongoing narrative etched in stone. And that's kind of like what you see. Yeah. Only Oscars, earbuds, helmets. Yeah.
They got some AirPods.
That's it. Hey, or we just got it from them, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
But you look at just say the UFO, how that has gone from what I believe is ancient times to now.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at, as we become more technologically advanced or more advanced, those things seem to change also.
Yeah.
Because I think it's not that they actually change, but our understanding of what they are changes.
Mm-hmm.
And our understanding of who we are and they are in the universe changes. So therefore, we have a better grasp of what it is that we're looking at. And since this is very similar to their predecessors, it's also a little more elaborate because maybe they've, through this whole time, have gotten a better understanding of what it is.
Yeah. Possibly.
Yeah. Monkey see, monkey do. Try it. Absolutely.
So
This is number 3.
next we're going to talk about
Volcamonica.
Volcamonica. It's across the ocean in
Yes.
Italy.
Yeah.
So it's in the Volcamonica Valley in the Italian Alps.
Alps.
Alps. What did I say?
Alps.
Alps. So here we find one of the largest collections of prehistoric petroglyphs in the world. It's just a large outdoor art gallery etched onto the rocks over thousands of years. We're talking about art from the
Paleolithic.
whatever that period was.
That's a Paleolithic period.
Stretching all the way to the Roman times. But this art from the Communion civilization during the Iron Age that truly captures our attention. So here, amongst all these figures, we find depictions that are startling figures with large, round, or oval heads. And when you look at them, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
Helmet. Just what they're just sitting there saying.
Hey, truth.
Hey, truth.
So, do they look like sun symbols?
No.
Skeptics think so.
Yeah. Truth says aliens. I like it.
Yeah, but they do look remarkably like helmets. Helmets worn by beings operating in an environment different from their own, perhaps. Yep, definitely looks like a helmet.
Only Oscars ask, if Iron Age, wouldn't the creatures have wings?
I don't know.
I don't think that all Iron Age thought that they were like angels or angelic or anything like that. But you get that outside of Christianity, of course, because you get that in Mesopotamia too.
So it's not just the heads. Look at the lines, the rays that are often come from these round heads. Maybe it's just a artistic flair.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Or could it represent energy?
Maybe.
Radiation or even communication signals broadcasting from their helmets.
It's them talking to each other.
So the most compelling...
Take me to your leader.
Yeah, they're holding some kind of tools too.
Yes.
I don't know. That kind of looks like a square. Sort of.
Kind of does. Nice calves. They do have very big calves. don't
Yeah, they do. But look at these little things here. Kind of looks like spaceships.
they? Mm-hmm.
So the most compelling images from this region are perhaps those that show objects in the sky, which that looks like it's object in the sky.
What about the second picture?
Let's go to it and see. Yes.
So you see these things, and it looks like it's shooting something down
Yeah.
onto the person. Shuttlecraft, yeah.
Some are disc shaped, some are rectangular shapes hovering above the ground, sometimes associated with these are astronaut figures like this.
Yep.
Well, let me use my pointer. This little astronaut figure, and then we believe that this looks like some kind of ship.
Yeah, like it's shooting something down, a ray or something down towards that beam below it.
Yeah. Could these be the craft of the being, you think?
Maybe.
Could these be unidentified flying objects that are depicted in this prehistoric art? I think. But also consider the objects held by some of these figures. Are they simply spears and shields? No. The tools of ancient warriors were spears and shields. That's all, that's
Right.
about all they had. Could they be devices or even weapons of a kind we don't fully recognize? Who knows? Imagine the scene in ancient Italy. Imagine the people of Monica witnessing these beings descend from the sky in these objects, beings wearing what appear to be helmets. It would be an event of unimaginable significance.
Right.
A moment etched forever in their collective memory and recorded for prosperity into the rock art of their valley.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Them wanting to keep a record.
That
of what
does look
happened.
like a drone, don't it?
Yeah, it does look like a drone.
That is crazy.
That was a drone before we even thought of drones.
I just wonder if these people just observed this or they were like interacting with the people. Maybe sharing knowledge, maybe influencing the course of human history in ways we're only just beginning to understand. The standard history books tell us humans only dream of space travel. But what if these ancients knew about it firsthand? What if the Volcamonicas is telling us exactly that, and this is exactly what they saw?
Well, we was talking about it a little bit ago. And I believe, and I think we believe, that they're definitely depicting what they saw.
Yeah.
Because there's too much other stuff. Like I said, if you go back and look at the rock art, you could type it in and thousands of pictures and stuff come up. But you see all the other stuff that they put in, all the different animals, all the people, even wars. That you have people on horses with spears and stuff.
Yeah, you can usually tell what that civilization or who drew it, what they were doing at the time, because they were either fighting a war or they were gathering animals and hunting animals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can tell.
Yeah.
So why would they draw cartoons with it?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
They didn't have time to just kick back and be like, hey, I came up with a story today. And go over to the fifth depiction on the left and see what I put down. You're going to have a laugh.
Yeah.
I don't think it happened.
Barbara says, do you notice that they were painting scenes all over the world and they're basically the same?
Yeah.
The same figures.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That's crazy too.
Yeah. It shows that there was a shared knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. All adults. Yeah. You don't see no kids in any of these.
No.
No little ones running around. So that was number 3, wasn't it? So this
Number
one
3. Yeah, this one's a good one.
Yeah, this one is really good. You're gonna like this one. So this is Tasil Najir. Now this is in the Sahara Desert. Kind of it's the Tasil Najir Plateau in Algeria, North Africa, in the Sahara. So amidst the stark beauty of the desert, we find another incredible treasure trove of rock art. And this spans millennia. Within this vast collection of art from the Roundhead period, amongst the oldest layers is some particularly striking figures. Now, these are dominated by large round heads, as you can see in this one right here. Imagine figures with bodies sometimes ornate or structured, but always topped by these enormous round or sometimes even bulbous heads. They're often disproportionate to their bodies. Now, when you see these round head figures, does it not evoke something pretty familiar with you? Something from our modern imagination? Do they not bear a striking resemblance to the classic depictions of the gray aliens, or perhaps even Martians of science fiction lore? Kind of do, don't they?
Yeah, that one does.
That one really does. Grays, yeah, and giant, yes. Maybe a human child standing behind an adult. Yeah.
You know, that looks like an African person.
Yeah.
Slender. This thing is not too slender.
But you see the lines.
Yeah.
In the
It's kind of a
arms
suit looking thing.
yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Now, consider the faces, or rather the lack of faces. Typically, these round heads are blank, featureless, no eyes, no noses, no mouths, no human expressions, just smooth, rounded surfaces. Now, are these faces of earthly beings, or are they masks, helmets, or even the actual faces of beings whose biology is so different from our own that the artist struggled to capture them in familiar human terms? That's very possible. Now, some of these figures also appear to float. They lack clear grounding lines, seeming to hover or levitate above the ground. Now, is this simply artistic convention, or could it be literal depiction? Could these beings have possessed the ability to defy gravity, to move in ways that prehistoric humans only describe as floating? And look at the bodies. Now, while the heads are most striking feature, the bodies are not always simple. Some are depicted with linear elements, structured forms, suggesting clothing, suits. Could these be advanced suits designed to protect these beings in Earth's atmosphere in the harsh environments of the Sahara Desert? So, when you examine the round heads art of Tasil Najir, it is pretty hard to escape the feeling that you're looking at something profoundly alien. Are these gray aliens of modern UFO lore depicted in the rock art of the Sahara Desert thousands of years ago? Does this art provide evidence that those beings have been visiting our planet for far longer than we imagine? Could the ancient artists of Tasil Najir have been recording encounters with extraterrestrial visitors, leaving us a message in the heart of the Sahara that still echoes across the ages? I think it's possible.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to
Why'd you turn that?
because I think we might have got off one, but trying to figure it out. Hmm.
For some reason, your camera just turned off.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I just wanted to check and make sure we had the right pictures.
Oh.
But it was
I thought it was.
the next one.
This one's pretty good.
Yeah.
This one's in Western Australia.
Western Australia.
Yep.
Let me get it pulled up again. Yeah, this one's it.
Is this number 5?
I think so.
No. That's number. Maybe it is. That's Tahsil Najir.
Yeah.
And the Kimberley case. Western Australia.
This is the final one.
Okay.
All right. So let me get this back going. Sorry.
Insect would seem vicious. Yes.
So here we go. So this is the Kimberley region of Western Australia. And you can tell a difference, right?
The difference, but then still some similarities.
Well, yeah, some similarities.
Similarities in the fact that they're just round eyes or holes, not really eyes. Yeah.
So we found the Bradshaw figures, also known as
Gwyn art.
Gwyn art. These are some of the oldest rock paintings in the world, predating even the more famous Wajunda art of the region. Estimates suggest that some of these figures could be up to 17,000 years old.
That's old.
Or even older.
That's during the last ice age.
Yeah. So, imagine 17,000 years artists were creating these images, leaving us messages, stuff for us to look at and tell and for us to see what they see.
These are some crazy photos.
Yeah.
Yes. Look like depictions of grays. Yes.
So notice the elegance, the grace, the elongated, slender forms depicted with fine lines, often in dynamic flowing poses. Are these typical depictions of human ancestors or mainstream archaeologists claim? Or do they possess an otherworldly refinement? I like that word, otherworldly. So they're often adorned with elaborate headdresses. Let me bring up another picture.
Right there.
They're often adorned with elaborate headdresses, tassels, and what appears to be ornate clothing. So do you think these might be ceremonial decorations, body paint? That's what we're told by scientists and mainstream archaeology.
Right. Shell says that they didn't have a lot of time to waste, so this wasn't a hobby, but it was probably drawn because of importance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
On the Oscar says spacesuits. Yes.
So Again, we see variations in head shapes. Some of the figures have rounded heads, others elongated. Again, we see deviations from typical human forms. Is this simply artistic license, or is it a reflection of the actual beings that they were depicting? Beings that perhaps did not share exact anatomy, beings that were otherworldly.
Well, I think they definitely look otherworldly.
Yeah, they do. Now it looks like a helmet. I swear that looks like a cartoon helmet, you know, like
Yeah.
I don't know, just and
But look at this one. I mean, these
oh
heads
yeah,
and
look at that.
This head and these slender arms and
Oh,
looks like they almost have a tail.
oh, and we pointed
Both
out
of these have tails. Did you notice that?
and it's got fingers on its tail.
Maybe it's a bushy tail. Two kinds of turtles. Yep.
Yeah, you got turtles, you got fish, you got snakes, you got lizards, and then you got this.
Right. And so these other things, you know that they're like, okay, these are real things, and so are these.
I don't know if the artist messed up on this one right here, but I counted,
It's this one.
yeah, 4 fingers on this hand, but there's 5 on the others. So maybe he just got in a hurry.
He got in an accident.
Yeah.
He lost a finger.
Maybe. One is a fly river turtle.
Oh.
Might be that one. Never seen one before. Not with a neck that long.
This looks like almost like the turtles you see, the soft back, the sea turtles.
So when you study this art, you don't get a sense of crude, primitive depictions. Instead, you see sophistication, refinement, even elegance. Could these figures represent an advanced civilization that's just visiting Earth? Perhaps a civilization that was not just technologically advanced, but also as the I don't know that word.
What word? What word?
Aesthetic. Anyway, scratch that word. Perhaps the encounters
Aesthetically,
I guess that just don't seem right. Aesthetically refined.
Yes.
So perhaps the encounters in Australia were different, more peaceful, more focused on observations, and less on direct intervention.
Right.
So what did the artists know? What did they witness? There are hints at a history far grander, more mysterious and more cosmic than we are generally led to believe.
Only Oscars, how things look. That's what
Aesthetics.
Yes. Barbara, it was difficult to make the cave paint, and they would not waste it. They drew important things that had significant value.
Yeah.
I believe that that's the truth. They had too much to do in a day to sit there and draw all day.
Yeah.
There was no, teenager that was playing video games all day and had nothing else to do.
Right.
Everybody had a job.
Flippers, not claws. Yeah, that can be. So do the turtles we see today have flippers, or do they have claws? I'm not even sure.
See the flippers right here. You see
That looks like a sea turtle.
It does look like a sea turtle to me. This turtle looks like it's got feet though.
Yeah.
Like arms and legs.
Sort of lizard turtle.
Yeah. Now, across these 5 remarkable sites, spanning continents and millennia, we've seen cave art that defies easy explanation. From the towering spirit figures of Barrier Canyon and the Fremont art of Oswego Canyon to the helmeted astronauts of Volcamonica and the round heads of Tassili Najir and the elegant Bradshaw figures of Kimberly, we see recurring themes that resonate across cultures and across time. Unusual heads, elongated bodies, depictions of objects in the sky, a persuasive sense of otherworldliness. Now, these motifs appear again and again. It truly just coincidence that these elements emerge independently in such diverse locations and cultures, created by people who, in the conventional view, had no contact with each other? Or does this repetition point to something more profound? Does it suggest a shared global experience? A series of encounters with something pretty extraordinary? Maybe even something alien? Or as Jason would say, otherworldly? We're told that ancient humans were primitive, their minds filled with simple myths and earthly concerns. But what if the very definition of primitive is flawed? What if our ancestors possessed a different kind of awareness, a heightened sensitivity to the cosmos that we have lost in our modern technologically saturated world? What if they were not just passive recipients of earthly phenomena, but active witnesses to cosmic events, recorders of encounters that defy our current understanding of history? I think so.
Yeah.
Now, the conventional view struggles, excuse me. The conventional view struggles to fully account for the sheer strangeness, the persistent anomalies in this cave art. Explanations based solely on shamanism, symbolism, and misinterpretation feel kind of incomplete. They really lack the spark of wonder, the sense of profound mystery, what these images actually invoke.
Faces and Stones say masters of nature so advanced we could hardly believe it when we wake up in the morning. Yeah.
Right. Jason?
Oh. So we've went over and went on a journey into the heart of ancient mysteries, exploring cave art that we believe offers a tantalizing glimpse into some hidden history. The idea that these ancient artworks might depict alien contact is undeniable. It's hard, definite proof in the scientific sense, but it remains elusive. But as we have seen, the visual evidence is compelling. The recurring anomalies, the persistent motifs, the undeniable sense of otherworldliness, they all converge to suggest a possibility that we as a species can no longer afford to dismiss. So we ask you to look at these images again, study them, contemplate them, open your mind, and let them challenge your assumption about the past. Question the conventional narratives, and entertain the possibility. However audacious it may seem, that our ancestors were not alone, that they witnessed things that we in our modern world struggle to comprehend, that they left us a message etched in stone across the vastness of time, a message about contact, I think. Yeah. Are we alone in the universe? It's a fundamental question. that's driven humanity's curiosity since we first looked up at the stars. Perhaps the answer is not solely out there in the distant galaxies. Perhaps part of the answer, a crucial piece of the puzzle, has been here all this time, on our own planet, in our own caves, written in the ancient art of our ancestors, just waiting patiently for us to truly see it.
I think that if we truly see it, like you just said,
Yeah.
then maybe we could see it. Maybe, you know, you take the glasses that we wear every day to where we go to work, come home, do what we do, and have our blinders on. And most people live in that world 365 days a year, you know. Um, we've all lost our childlike innocence. You'll hear people talk about that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it is that they'll see that children a lot of times will see things for what they truly are. You know, you'll have a kid walk up to you and say, "Hey, you've got a big nose." Right? They don't care. They don't understand, but they'll say things because they see it. They just say it. They don't know no better. But what if we started looking at these types of things with those kind of eyes? You know, where we start trying to explain them away as something else. And we start looking at them and saying, what were these people thinking when they did this?
Right.
Why is it that, you know, we can say, oh, yeah, this is a depiction of them going to war. This is a depiction of them hunting. This is a picture of them gathering stuff. These are pictures that we are saying, yes, that's what these are. But then the second you get to something that's different, that very second you get to something that's different, it changes. And all of a sudden, well, they just kind of made that up.
Yeah.
This is the science fiction section of the cave, right? This is their wants, their needs. No, they would have drew more food. That's what they wanted. And that's what they needed, right? Better shelters. So I don't know. I just think that if people would look at these things and actually look at them properly, then it would do better.
Yeah, I want to talk about the one more picture before we close out. The one that's
This one?
behind us.
The big picture.
Yeah, the big picture that's behind us. I want to show it to you. Let's see here.
Make it full screen.
Yeah, here we go. Let me show you the full screen picture. Now, this picture is from France. Prehistoric cave painting from Uf Olishan Cave in France. So it dates back around a few thousand years. It don't say exactly how old it is, but it depicts animals and human-like figures. A large disc-shaped object is featured, interpreted by some as UFO. It definitely looks like a UFO to me.
Sucking me up. I mean, that's the classic depiction of UFO. And what's really crazy to me is look at the being that's looks like it's on top of the UFO. Does that not look like a gray alien head?
It does, driving it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the artist is saying, okay, this is the thing, and these are what the people that drove it look like or came out of it look like. Right?
Yeah.
And then if you look over to the other part of it, there's something here with wings.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. I mean, and these things down here got
3 legs, tentacles, bat
know.
wings, maybe, or something.
Could
Because
be.
it looks like a body with legs. And the stuff we were sitting here talking, and then all of a sudden everything just went whoop and disappeared on us.
You might have to refresh or something. Maybe hello.
Hello,
Can somebody tell us they can see us?
please. We're here. We're back. Roy says maybe that, like us, they had imaginations. Okay, they're still there. Yep, we're still here.
Can you see us?
We disappeared for a second. For some reason.
Look, I'm on the wrong side of.
Oh.
Yeah. All right.
We jumped up and traded places. We jumped up and traded places, maybe? Is that what we did?
There we go. Now we're back to normal.
There we go.
So sorry about that, guys. We had a problem with the computer. It kind of shut down, and I don't know what it did. It just beeped.
Yeah, it went boop, and then we went away for a minute.
But
look,
we were
tell them the truth. We just got abducted.
Yeah, we had a time slip,
and Jason said that he feels special.
It was something otherworldly.
Was you probed?
So we've been talking about cave art, and we want to thank everybody for joining us. Sorry about the little mishap there.
Yeah,
but luckily we got back.
Hey, we're that's live for you. It's
Yeah.
being live. Crazy things happens.
Yes.
Roy says no, you're not.
Yeah, we are now, Roy.
Michelle says we're on the correct side.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara.
Yeah, thank you, Barbara. Sorry for the the technical problems.
That was weird. It just went bloop. That's literally what it sounded like too. Thanks everybody for listening and watching the show. We really appreciate everybody. And hey, we've got some things coming up, don't we, Jason?
We do. This Saturday we got a show coming up with Benny C. Trent. We're gonna be talking about some origins, some human origins, and maybe some Anunnaki and Nephilim and stuff like that. He's going to be bringing that to the table.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
So definitely 8:00 p.m. Eastern time this Saturday.
Then in May, we're going to be at the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Festival.
Yes.
May the 2nd in Townsend.
Yeah. Come and join us.
We're going to be doing a live show, right?
Yes, we did last time.
We're going to do live.
So when you come up and talk to us, we're going to have a camera pointed right at you. One of these here microphones pointed right at you, and you're going to get to tell us your stories, and we're going to talk for a minute.
That's right.
Roy says we don't tolerate malfunctions.
Sorry, Roy.
Hey, Roy, we are Malfunction Junction.
That's right. So also we're going to be at the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference in Gatlinburg in July.
Is it 20 something? Is it 20 something?
It's in July. We're going to be there set up like we always do. So if you can get your tickets, we might be giving away a couple of tickets this year.
Yes. Faces in the Sun says I won't miss that one. They're heading out to Cherokee tomorrow, out to the mountains. Awesome. Thank you, Faces in the Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be at the like you said, the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Festival in Townsend, but we'll also be at the Great Smoky Mountain Bigfoot conference in Gatlinburg. This will make our what, 6th?
Yes.
7th? Sixth year.
6th year. And then in October we're going to be
that one's in May. The Bigfoot Festival in Townsend is in May.
May the 2nd.
Yep.
Then we're going to be in October. We're going to be going up to Crossville, Tennessee, right?
Yep, to the Bigfoot Festival, the Upper Cumberland Bigfoot Festival. Yes.
We like Bigfoot.
We do love Bigfoot. He loves us.
So join us Saturday, 8:00 Eastern time. We'll be talking with Benny C. Trent from, I think he's, wasn't he from, I can't remember where he's just like in
Illinois,
the central time zone. Yeah.
Illinois or something like that, isn't he? Yep. It's going to be great.
If you like Anunnaki origin stories and Nephilim, we're going to be talking about that, Faces and Stones. So come join us.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
All right.
Remember, you can find us at paranormal411.org, paranormal411 on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Also, now we're on Rumble. Tune in live every Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m., Saturdays from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also on Saturdays from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're in the metro Atlanta area, you catch us at WDJY FM. That's 99.1 FM. But if you're on the outside of it and you can't hear us on the 99.1, you can just go to WDJYFM.com or you go to paranormal411.org and click the link and still listen. Now, remember, we are on Subspace Radio on all podcast platforms. Hey, everybody. We've got a book. East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore Edition 2. It's available on Amazon or at paranormal411.org. Join us.
Join us.
Thanks, everybody.
In the heart of Madisonville, Tennessee, lies a pizzeria like no other. Step through the door of Legends and Lore Pizzeria and be transported to a realm where paranormal and cryptid encounters, along with mouth-watering pizza, go hand in hand. Meet Eddie and his crew, who serve up slices of the supernatural along with the best pies in town. With the walls adorned with eerie artifacts, indulge in piping hot slices that melt in your mouth and tease your taste buds. And it's not just the locals who love the incredible pizza. Legends and Lore has been selected as the best pizza joint in all of Monroe County. As lovers of everything pizza and the paranormal, the owners have mastered the art of crafting unforgettable combinations that will leave you wanting more. To stay connected with this mystical eatery, follow Legends and Lore Pizzeria on Facebook, where tales of their latest creations and upcoming specials will be shared. Make sure to browse their custom menu, featuring legendary pizzas like the Chupacabra Ranch and the Exorcist. So, whether you have an appetite for the supernatural or simply seek the best pizza in town, Legends and Lore is the place to be. Come for the unforgettable flavors, stay for the captivating stories, and find yourself in a world where legends and pizza collide.
What if the world we know is merely a fraction of reality? What if there are forces, entities, and phenomena that exist just beyond our comprehension in the shadows of the unknown? Welcome to Paranormal 411, your gateway to the unexplained and the downright chilling.
Get ready to rock with the electrifying sound of Catalyst, a band that's sure to leave you wanting more. With their powerful lyrics and killer riffs, Catalyst is a great sound in the world of rock music. You can listen and find Catalyst on Bandcamp, or go to the link at paranormal411.org and click on their banner.